Hey everybody, it's Randy with Carchaeology, and I figured it's about time I give you an update on some of the stuff that's going on here in the lab. So I have been busy making messes here in the lab. Isn't it interesting how you can clean the place up, and then the moment you start working, it looks like a bomb went off. And well, the bomb that I'm working on right now is my 29 Ford Hot Rod. So I'm trying to prepare this car for an upcoming event, something that is happening at the end of the month. It's actually a Concours event. And while I'm not much of a Concours guy, this particular event has a class for hot rods. And it's rare that you see hot rods on the lawn with the fancy folks. And so I just wanted to jump at the opportunity and make that happen. So I submitted Mr. Toad here, and they accepted it. So I've got to get it cleaned up and ready to go. And one of the things that I've been working on is the interior. So when I got the car, there was a huge rip in the seat, and it had been done in old seat cover material. And I loved the look of it. I thought it was totally awesome. So I decided to redo that and go the same way. So I found a vintage 50s seat cover set for a big sedan and ended up repurposing it just the way that Todd, the guy that built the car at the start, had done it. So I've got a piece here for the back. I did one here for the seats, redid the door panels, and then I also installed a proper Model A rubber floor mat in here. Before, it had in this like stapled in rubber. You can see the staples and stuff. It just wasn't super clean. And then while I had this all apart, I also painted some stuff in there to get some of my boot wear off of it. Now, I still have a lot of cleaning to do underneath the car. You know, driving these things tends to, well, it gets them a bit dirty. And with everything exposed here, I want it to look as nice as it can. So I've got some days ahead of me laying underneath this thing with a toothbrush and some degreaser and all of that. But it's a great opportunity to clean this old bucket up and make it look the best that it possibly can. And I think it'll be all right. Now, it's no Concours car. It really wasn't built for that, even though it has won some great awards. I think it'll be fun to bring it down to this Concours event and show it off. Now, other things going on here. The C-Type Jag. As you can see, there is something missing with the C-Type, the body. We removed the body from the chassis for a couple different reasons. One is I'm going to have that body repainted in a color that I really like better than the red. And also, with the body off, we've got really easy access to everything on this car. So I can work on the engine without having to clear the body, get wiring and stuff run, set up the pedals, get the fuel tank put in place, and really kind of go through it stem to stern there and hopefully get this thing up and running like a big go-kart and then put the body back on it. Now, I've got some challenges ahead of me currently because this engine right now is stuck. It's not turning. Now, we opened it up, looking in there, it actually looks really fresh. Those cams look like they have no spin to them, no wear at all. But for whatever reason, that engine is not turning. So I've been pickling it with some diesel fuel and some other penetrant. And I come out every now and then and grab the breaker bar and give it a little twist. And with any luck, we will be able to get the engine to spin free, and then hopefully it'll be good to go. But I am missing a lot of parts for this, and so I'm actively looking for a parts car that I can pull some pieces off of. So if anybody's got a good late 50s, early 60s Jag, it could be a sedan, it could be whatever. I just think it would be great to have something that I can pull hardware off of, pull small pieces from here and there, rather than trying to chase down all the proper British nuts and bolts from here in California. I think having a parts car to pull that stuff off of would be great. Now, hopefully this engine turns out to be good and we can use that. If not, then with a parts car, at least I would have a backup motor to deal with to hopefully get this thing up and running. So this is a big long-term project. This isn't going to happen fast, but I do have dreams of driving this thing down the road. And every time I look at it, whether it be in go-kart form here or with the body on it, I think it's one of the prettiest cars that I have ever owned. Let's see, other stuff that's going on here in the lab on the other side here. the 356. Now, this is a project that we obviously shared some stuff on. The new engine is in place. It's actually running really nice. I do have an oil leak that I've got to chase, and so I've got the pieces required in order to do that. And I'm trying to prepare this car for an upcoming event as well. And the cosmetics of it, I've been wanting to change for quite a while. So if any of you watched the video of the sign painter, Bailey Clayton, that did the Rally Carmangia, well, I'm going to have him come lay his licks on the 356. So we're working out some different sponsor graphics, some different names and things on there. He's going to hand paint a letter on the nose here, or the numbers on the nose. We'll probably do a sponsor graphic along the back here as well. Maybe a little tagline, something fun like the hot tamale or whatever. And that's going to happen next week. So I'm excited about getting him out here and doing a little transformation on the 356 Porsche. And again, I'm trying to get this ready for an event that's coming up at the end of the month. It'll be fun to display it with fresh graphics and also with the original motor in there. Let's see, other stuff that's going on. The 53 Packard, I've been working on it a little bit here and there as well. Obviously super clean. We're having an awful lot of fun with this particular car. I am experiencing a real slight miss to the engine though. And so we did a little research there, or a little further looking, pulled the plugs, did a compression check, and the compression is a little low on one of the cylinders. We checked the valves on it to see make sure that everything was opening and closing fine. The clearances seem okay, but still there's a little leak down happening there that's causing a little rough idle, just at idle. It seems to run beautiful when you've got your foot in it, but at idle it stumbles just a little bit, and these things should be sewing machine smooth. So it may be possible that I've got to pull the head off of the car to take a look and see what's really going on. Could be a little crack in a valve seat, it could be something like that. So I've not been putting a whole lot of miles on it until I get that figured out. But I have been having fun accessorizing, adding cool little things. Little doggy in the window with his head going up and down, little props, auto bingo, etc., etc. And man, what a beautiful car for the money. Other fun stuff that's happening or coming up here. The Austin 7 is actually going to go to a really cool museum here in Southern California for a while. Now, it's not going to stay. I mean, it's going to stay for a little while. But the Lion Air Museum down in Orange County is going to do an exhibition among the airplanes of microcars. And, well, they don't have anything quite this old to put on display. So they've asked if I would bring the Austin 7 down there so that they could display it and share it with folks. And I think that's going to be super fun. And it'll give me just a little bit of space here in the garage. And that's going to be a blast. So I'm going to do a little cleanup on that, get it ready for its time there. I think it's going to be there for a couple of months where people can check it out. And it is definitely a crowd pleaser and such a fun little car. So it's going to be a great honor to have this thing on display out there where people can see it, see what early motoring was like in England, and a little feather in its cap. Let's see, the Wolseley Hornet. I've been driving the heck out of the Wolseley Hornet and having a real blast with that. I took this down to a British car event down in San Diego this past weekend. Had a real blast with that, and I'm considering taking it out this weekend to the Queen's English show in Woodley Park up in LA. So I'm possibly going to do that. Haven't totally decided, but if I get up early enough on Sunday, I'm going to fire up the little Wolseley and run it on up to LA to hang out with those folks there. Other projects that are happening here. The Fastback is sitting back here waiting in the wings. The Chimp dune buggy. I really need to get this car out and do some cleanup and photos of it. And I want to tell the story in print of the history of the Chimp dune buggy, because it's not really been spoken yet. I've done stuff on videos and things like that, But I'd like to do a nice article for Hot VWs or perhaps some other automotive publication that tells the story and the importance of the Chimp dune buggy, because it really is the grandfather of all the fiberglass buggies and all the VW powered off-road stuff that exists today. If it wasn't for Scott McKenzie and the first Chimp that he built, well, maybe none of that would have happened. In any case, so that's got to come out at some point for a detail, for a photo shoot, and then I got to sit down at the computer and tap out the story. Let's see, peeking outside here real quick, here's another project that I'm working on. This is another vehicle that's from the Alabama warehouse situation. This is a 1967 Volkswagen double cab, and what I've been doing on this is just some general cleanup. The truck had an engine fire that burnt the paint badly on the back of the truck, and it warped the panels slightly in spots. It's not a great truck. I mean, it's definitely got a good basis to work from, but it looked super nasty with the spray paint and stuff that the previous owner had put on it to protect the bare metal from rust. So I ended up getting that paint off of there. I ended up applying some paint to the areas that were burned on the back that is at least the same color as the body of the truck. So it looks so much more presentable than it did before, and I think that that's going to make it a lot more saleable and more attractive to a potential new buyer. Also put on some tires that actually hold air, and while I was doing that, I painted the wheels and things like that. Very quickly, this thing is going to be up for sale. So if anybody's looking for a good project, 1967 double cab, watch oldbug.com for the arrival of this one soon. Now, it's not going to be running and driving with that engine fire. The engine still needs to be dealt with. Wiring is burnt back there and that sort of thing. But I wanted to make it roll, steer, and look half decent before we put it up on the market. In any case, so watch for that one soon. And gosh, is that about it? Yeah, I guess that's about it. So I've been busy doing stuff, certainly having a good time, playing with cars. We're also doing some work here at the house, just kind of fluffing our nest here so that we can enjoy the place that we have put together. So in any case, that's the update on what's going on here in the lab. I hope you enjoyed the little walk around and the projects that I've been tinkering with. Keep on digging them up and driving them, and thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.